Peaq, x402, and the machines you are being replaced get ready for UBI. So this topic is very apt for right now. They just got through with the Robot Olympics, which I'll show you here, in which a robot broke Usain Bolt's 100-meter world record on the opening day of the Robot Olympics. You can see this guy here with the jumping spinning kick, right? Robots fighting and whatnot. Some of the comments to this are absolutely hilarious. Like, if you think a robot can, break Usain Bolt's record, wait till you see what a car will do. Like, that's like absolutely hilarious. But with this, you can kind of see that they're getting really good with these Optimus-like humanoid-like robots, right? But the ultimate end goal is for these robots to do welding jobs, do nanny jobs, even do, replace X workers. You know what I mean? SEX workers, right? Possibly, right? So very interesting what they're trying to get these robots ready to do. Now, don't take my word for what's going on here. We'll go ahead and actually look at some posts, some clips, and I'll have these guys say it for me, right? So Peaq, this is very recent news, August 21st. Peaq brings World Network, okay? This is Sam Altman's coin here. World ID to robots and machines. A machine can now check two things about a person in front of it. Is it a real human? And is it the one who actually placed the order? Nothing else is revealed. No name, no face, no ID, free to verify. Peaq provides identity, discovery, and coordination. World ID proves the human without revealing who they are. Now, for me personally, I'm going to report on this, but I'm going to give my just personal opinion here, right? I don't think the onus should be on me as a human to prove that I'm human. I already have an ID. I already have things that prove that I'm human, right? Like, why do I need to give you now world ID? Why do I need to get a world ID from you to prove that I'm human, right? The onus should be on the robot to prove that it's not, that it's not human. But I digress. So this is a reason now they're providing you to get a world ID to prove that you're human. Okay. Now you make your own decision on whether you want to do that or not. The demo, a delivery bot in Seoul carries medication from a pharmacy to a patient. It has to be certain twice. Real human behind the order, right human at the door, and it never learns a name. So should be able to do that from your ID or something like that. You have barcodes on your ID and stuff like that. Why do you now need to go give Sam Altman some information to get a world ID? But anyway, so every human in the chain proves themselves. The robot checks under its own Peaq identity and finds a world ID on the machine market. The patient verifies through the World app before the order is accepted. A zero knowledge proof, not a name. The pharmacist verifies the medication is loaded. The compartment seals, and at the doorstep, the patient scans the robot code and verifies again. Same unique human as the order. The compartment locks. The handoff is recorded. The proof of metadata is redacted. 3 verifications, 1 delivery, 0 identities revealed. Check the blog for full flow. So here it is, right? And we've been talking about Peaq in the Patreon. Again, you guys are the Patreon. You're getting this first. If you want to come over to the Patreon and get access to these videos and to learn about things like Peaq first, link is in the description, less than a cup of coffee for that, right? And again, patrons, stick around. We'll have a full video on this coming up, right? It's pretty funny because we were talking about this in our our open mic night, and I find information about this today. So it's grand. Now let's hear from Sam Altman. Again, don't take it from me. Let's hear it straight from Sam Altman's mouth. All right. Shout out to Lex Friedman.
Sure.
Hopefully Lex makes this or lets this stay up. And let's go ahead here, share this and play it.
You have been a proponent of UBI, universal basic income. In the context of AI, can you describe your philosophy there of our human future with UBI? Why you like it? What are some limitations?
I think it is a component of something we should pursue. It is not a full solution. I think people work for lots of reasons besides money. And I think we are going to find incredible new jobs, and society as a whole and people's individuals are going to get much, much richer. But as a cushion through a dramatic transition, and as just like, I think the world should eliminate poverty if able to do so. I think it's a great thing to do as a small part of the bucket of solutions. I helped start a project called WorldCoin, which is a technological solution to this. We also have funded a large, I think maybe the largest and most comprehensive universal basic income study as part of, sponsored by OpenAI. And I think it's like an area we should just be looking into.
What are some insights from that study that you gained?
We're going to finish up at the end of this year, and we'll be able to talk about it hopefully very early next.
So right there out of his mouth, UBI and WorldCoin. This is from 3 years ago on the Lex Friedman podcast, March 29th of all dates, 2023, right? My goodness, right? My goodness. Now, the next guy that has a piece in this is one Elon Musk.
Tech titan Elon Musk is known for being a car guy, a rocket guy, a social media guy, and now he's also a supercomputer guy.
And Elon Musk says Tesla will spend well over $1 billion by the end of 2024 on building an in-house supercomputer known as Project Dojo.
Although supercomputers look a lot like data centers, they're designed to perform calculations and process data at extremely high speeds.
Both of them are about scaling up to very large amounts of computation. However, in a data center, you have a lot of small parallel tasks that are not necessarily connected to each other. Whereas, for example, when you're training a very large AI model, those are not entirely independent computations. So you do need tighter interconnection between those computations, and the passing of data back and forth needs to be potentially at a much higher bandwidth and a much lower latency.
Musk wants to use this supercomputing power to improve Tesla's autonomous driving capabilities, and finally deliver on the company's years-long promise to bring robotaxis to market. Supercomputers are also needed to train Tesla's humanoid robot, Optimus, which the company plans to use in its factories starting next year. All in all, Musk says that Tesla plans to spend $10 billion this year on AI. Musk's new AI venture, xAI, also needs powerful supercomputers to train xAI's chatbot, Grok, which directly competes with OpenAI's ChatGPT and Google's Gemini chatbots. Several of Musk's supercomputer projects are already in development. In August, Elon Musk teased Tesla's AI supercomputer cluster called Cortex on X. Cortex is being built at Tesla's Austin, Texas headquarters. Back in January, Tesla also announced that it planned to spend $500 million to build its Dojo supercomputer in Buffalo, New York.
So that's good. So this is why, right? They need AI agents to be in control of wallets. If everything is automated, you got the autonomous car, you got the robots, you got the AI agents controlling the wallets. Everything is visible, right? And we'll play this again from Charles Hoskinson. I know I've played the death out of it, but it's so important. I can't help it. we'll play this, and we got some more after this.
And we built this so that agents can have wallets, because once they have wallets, then they can trade. They can do other things. So Midnight City is our first touch point that we built for this. And we're adding a bunch of things. And Patrick has been a huge proponent of getting Cardano into x402. I believe Cardano Foundation's joined the x402 Foundation, so we have payments protocol to pair with this. By 2030, the vast majority of cryptocurrency wallets will be primarily custodied by an agent. And that agent will have a probably operate in a trusted execution environment. It's called confidential compute. In fact, we work with, let me show you this. The Confidential Compute Consortium. So some of the largest companies in the world got together and they said, you know what, we need to have standards for how the hardware is going to work, the network is going to work to store valuable data. So, you know, if you take a look at the Confidential Compute Consortium, you can see AMD and Google, Huawei, Intel, Meta, Microsoft, NVIDIA. These are kind of big companies, right? And Shielded. Who the hell is Shielded? It's my company. That's the development company building Midnight. So we all got together with all these other big companies, and Near Protocol is right there because they're pretty smart too. And we've been thinking very carefully about how we're going to build out a framework, because by 2029, $50 billion a year of computation loads are going to be through confidential compute. So right,
50 billion. It's going to be way bigger than that. So when you think about it, they're also going to need the robots and the data that the robots compiling to be confidential. So now you see like why Elon Musk would need kind of X money, because that'll be running on all of his confidential, you know, on all of his autonomous cars, his robot taxis, his Optimus bots, and all of those will have AI agent wallets. Okay, so mind blown there, right? Mind blown there. Oh, I think Shook's in the chat here. He said this just blew the lid off of something entirely different. I can't wait to hear what he has to say about that. Join his or my Patreon and figure that out. Right? Shout out to Shook Focus Digital. Right. Let's continue on here. So now let's hear from Elon again here. Shout out to Business Today.
If I were to ask you to wager a guess, Elon, do you think India will go down the path of urbanization like China did, with more people moving in from rural economies to urban centers? Or do you think we'll beat the trend?
I suppose some amount of that has happened, right? Mm-hmm. I mean, I'm curious to sort of ask you some questions as well. Is because of course, isn't that the trend, or is it not the trend in India?
It is the trend largely. Okay. I think a little bit changed during COVID when a lot of urbanization slowed down, and that was not organic. It was very artificially manifested.
Right.
But one does question that with AI, if productivity were to go up, and I heard you speak about UHI instead of UBI.
Yeah, I think it will be universal high income.
In a world like that, I wonder if more people want to live in cities which are always going to be more polluted and not offer the quality of lifestyle that a rural environment might.
Well, I guess it's up to, some people want to be around a lot of people and some people don't. You know, it's going to be maybe a matter of personal choice. But I think in the future, it won't be, I think it won't be the case that you have to be in a city for a job. Because I think my prediction is in the future, working will be optional.
Right. We seem to be moving from, not in India, but in some parts of the West, from 6 days to 5 days to 4 days to 3.
Not me.
I think the Europeans.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's, I mean, I think if you're trying to make a startup succeed, or you're trying to make a company do very difficult things, then you definitely need to put in serious hours. I think that's
Right.
That's how it goes.
And if we were to move from 5 to 4 to 3 days, how do you think society changes? When people have to work half the week, what do they do with the other half?
Well, I think it'll actually be that people don't have to work at all. And it may not be that far in the future. Maybe only, I don't know, 10. I'd say less than 20 years. My prediction is in less than 20 years, working will be optional. Working at all will be optional. Like a hobby, pretty much.
And that would be because of increased productivity, meaning people do not have to work?
They don't have to. I mean, look, this obviously people can play this back in 20 years and say, look, Elon made this ridiculous prediction and it's not true. But I think it will turn out to be true that in less than 20 years, that maybe even as little as, I don't know, 10 or 15 years, the advancements in AI and robotics will bring us to the point where working is optional. In the same way that, like, say, you can grow your own vegetables in your garden, or you could go to the store and buy vegetables. You know.
Now, if you believe that there's going to be universal high income and no one's going to work and be completely happy, I got some beautiful oceanfront property to sell you here in Arizona. All right. You will absolutely love it. Okay. Now, Elon, very interestingly enough, right? If we go over to this XRP mind map I have, right? Do not forget, I know they say that he sold his position in OpenAI and all of that, but he and Peter Thiel were involved in OpenAI, right? So it's interesting to see these two cast of characters come together or not come together, because we play two separate clips of them, but both were talking about universal basic income, right? And it seems like X Money and XRP and things like Peaq and x402 are the background, the network for all of this, right? Now, when we take AI agents and we take all the possible robots that can possibly fill the world, right? You could probably triple, quadruple the population when you put like a robots and AI agents. They can vastly outnumber the amount of humans in the world, right? Once the system gets up and running. So for all the guys that are like, XRP market cap is impossible, really think about that in your head, right? Absolutely insane here, right? So what do you guys think? How are you high on Peaq and what Peaq has to offer? Oh, one other thing here. Peaq is connected to x402, in case you weren't aware of that. Robot money is the money that robots earn, move, and invest on their own. X402 payment agents protocol, stablecoins, anything machines use as a measure of value or means of payment is robot money. All robot payment rails, every chain, one integration. Peaq makes that possible. X402 adoption on Peaq is taking off. 10.0 protocols, AI agent SDK unlocks the entire X402 agent-to-agent based economies on Peaq. If you go down here, we got some stuff from Base. They're mentioning with X402, Akuraclast and Peaq bring phone-powered compute to robots. We got Unitree, again, doing some demos, which it seems like they're doing some packaging, maybe with robots here. Yep, packaging. So here goes all the Amazon jobs that a young person can get done, cooked because they'll have these robots doing the packaging instead, right? And if we go down here further, they have robot money is everywhere, and everyone is competing to be on its rails. Tempo, Stripe, Visa, World Liberty Financial, and x402 and others are accelerating agentic payments. Peaq is built to enable robots and machines to use all these rails by giving them identity, trust, permissions, verification, coordination. In short, passports and bank accounts for robots, so robots can use robot money for businesses of all kinds. Learn more and get early access. So all these companies related to ZEBEC, right? Tempo, Stripe, Visa, World Liberty Fi, x402 and others are accelerating agentic payments. This 100% to me says ZEBEC will be using x402 and agentic AI because everything else will be using it. Okay, they're just tippy toeing. They're slowly stair stepping it so we get used to it, right? And we're kind of already used to it because we've been pre-programmed with the Jetsons and Star Trek and all these other things for most of our life. Ghost in the Shell for any of you anime watchers out there, right? We've been kind of pre-programmed into thinking and knowing this is coming, right? Pause. But let's go ahead here. Let me know what you guys think. Universal basic income. Are we being replaced? It sure looks like it. Packaging robots, Optimus robots, autonomous drivers, soon to replace all the Uber jobs, right? Sam Altman, Elon Musk, but here we have a gem here with Peaq, and Peaq, well, I'll save that conversation for the Patreon. Let me know what you guys think here. But again, Patreon, stick around. If you guys made it to the end, please put Peaq in the chat, and it'll let me know that you made it to the end, and it'll definitely spread the video out. Please like and subscribe. We're on our way to 10K subs, guys. Thank you guys so much, and we're out. Peace.